Sometimes it just seems that life is overwhelming. How many of you experience that in your own life? Days when you just absolutely feel overburdened, pressed down, pulled apart, and somehow it just seems like God is absent. That God is absent. And you're looking around for some answer, some relief. It just doesn't seem to be there. Sometimes, like Lazarus, there seems to almost be a barrier. It's like that stone that was over his tomb. A stone or a barrier between our life as we experience it and a new day. And if we listen deeply to our hearts, if you listen deeply to what Jesus did in the gospel today, it was almost as if the psalmist's words came alive. Out of the depth I cry to you. Hear my voice. Hear my voice. Jesus understood that. He wept. He lost his friend. What can God do through us? And what can God do with us? We listen closely to Ezekiel, one of the most beautiful Old Testament readings. Oh, my people, I will open your graves and have you rise from them. I will put my spirit in you that you may live. Powerful words, aren't they? Powerful words. Oh, my people, I will open your graves and have you rise from them, and I will put my spirit in you that you may live. Jesus spent his whole life inviting people out of the tomb. Somehow wanting to tear the bindings away, to somehow leave the darkness and step into the light of our lives. And our tombs come in so many different descriptions, don't they? Not just the finality of life, but sometimes the incremental changes that occur in life. And Jesus says to us, come forth. Go and sin no more. Don't be afraid. All through the Gospels. Come forth. Follow me. Follow me and don't be afraid. And yet, so often we find ourselves standing at the tomb and refusing to follow. We don't want to leave the tomb. We don't want to leave the tomb of our past. We don't want to leave the tomb of our past mistakes. We don't want to leave the tomb of our past failures. We don't want to leave the tomb of those past moments when we have just given up. And then standing at the tomb can also become rather comfortable at times. No one interferes with us there. No one disturbs our agendas. No one asks why. No one really expects anything from us, and no one's disturbing us. And so we're just very content and very happy standing at the tomb of the status quo. Lent is a time where we have been called to remember that we are God's beloved. You have heard me say that over and over and over again. You are God's beloved. You are set apart. And Jesus says to you, says to me, says to every single one of us here, no one's excluded from this, follow me. Follow me out of whatever tomb that you're in, whatever is holding you back, whatever is binding you, like those funeral wrappings around Lazarus. Follow me out of the tomb and take away the rock, or help each other to take away the rock that keeps you in that tomb. Step out in faith. Step out in faith. You're no longer bound by death. You're no longer bound by the past. You're no longer standing in the dark. But the most difficult thing about the gospel of our Lord Jesus Christ is that it calls us to change, and change can be risky. Change can be risky. And believe me, it seems as though no one likes change. Or everybody wants change, but nobody wants anything different. Easter says we are changed people. We are free. We are unbound. We are free and unbound to change the world that we live in. We can change our families. We can change our community. We can change our parishes. We can change our schools. We can change the way we do things, the way business is done. And we know that when Jesus shows up, the script of our lives changes. Changes for us and for others. The tombs of our own self-making, the obstacles, the fears, the limitations of our lives that somehow hold us are opened. You know what? A new day